Nigerian government, you can imagine how deep they may go just to bring out anyone who always wants justice and fairness in the country. Very dark man, a man that always stands for truth and equity in the country. All of a sudden, a huge sum of amount meant for the non-governmental organization NGO just disappeared from his bank account. Niger, nothing is too hard for them. People who can change election result in the twinkle of eye. Waiting be 180 million naira that they cannot remove immediately from someone's account in collaboration with the EFCC. Niger, now only God though, everyone eventually know that they are trying to bring down very dark man. As I said earlier, Nigerian government don't like someone who tells truth always. Remember what happened to late Fela Kuti, the Afro music star. Fela was the only one that had the boldness back then to call all Nigerian politicians thieves to their face. If you are very conversant with Nigerian history, you understand me clearly on this issue of Fela and the Nigerian government. He was arrested multiple times because he was telling them what no man can tell them. They did many things to him. To an extent, his ass was burnt by the government. Nigerian government don't like truth. They are gradually trying to face very dark man. Let's listen to Dr. Kemi Olunloyo, a Nigerian journalist who lived abroad, as she exposed Nigerian government in regard to the disappearance of 180 million naira in very dark man's account. But before then, this is Honest TV. We offer undiluted gist on Nigerian celebrities and politicians. Support us by subscribing, liking our videos, comment and share. And for all my returning subscribers and those taking time watching my videos on a daily basis, I'm always grateful. Thank you for all you do. At this junction, let's eat on the main video.
When you're doing preliminaries in journalism, you don't spend money, you don't look for any specific whatever. You go and just go around the whole story and you focus on the bigger picture. There's a lot of people involved here, and I really suspect that the government is also involved, the EFCC. When you're an investigative journalist, you must learn how to be, number one, fearless. You can't be fearing anybody. I don't live in Nigeria, okay? I'm not in any super modern country, but I can tell you one thing, that if I was living in Nigeria and sitting down in my room now on this bed, I'll get an invitation from everyone, from the EFCC to the police. They might even come and try and arrest me, but they know my own deal when it comes to that. I had 6 invitations before I left. I didn't honor any of them. Every single one of those cases, I was vindicated eventually. Let me tell you now, behind me up here, you can see the logos of Zenith Bank and the EFCC. Zenith Bank has some insiders, okay, allegedly in this whole thing. There are a lot of bank fraud, agents that we know that they exist. They have done it to me. Remember when I was doing all that prison fund, prison medical fund and all that, there was a lady in FCMB who was actually stealing money from rich people's accounts and giving it to other people. And those people are using that money to actually send donations to me. So they accidentally send double the donation, 200K instead of 100K. And that's where I caught a whole big scam. Then, of course, you have the EFCC and their record with VDM. The EFCC is not exactly friends with VDM. He took them to the highest level of government, okay, the legislative, and accused them of taking bribes from Bobrisky. He included the Falanos. We remember that mess in September. That whole mess with the Falanos, Bobrisky, EFCC, and the prisons is the bigger picture I'm looking at as an investigative journalist. If I abuse someone, and this has happened in real life in America, this person did not like gays and lesbians. He kept insulting this gay guy who lived on a street all the time. One day he went to the mall. He was hit by a car coming out of the mall. Everybody rushed to him. They called 911. They were getting an ambulance. There was a doctor there in the parking lot of the mall, and that doctor was the first responder that gave him CPR, cardiopulmonary resuscitation, to at least keep him alive until the ambulances got there. This was a doctor. This was the doctor that he was always yapping on his street. This doctor was gay, but he didn't know this person was a doctor. And that was the person that saved his life. So if he had recognized him, if you were conscious, would you say, don't even come near me, you are gay, I don't want you to put your mouth in my mouth to resuscitate me? He won't say that now. He will die. The fact remains is that some people that we've berated, they're the ones we have to go back to later. That happens normally in life. And I simply believe that this was all orchestrated so that VDM can now come to the EFCC for them to not get to work for him. You have to focus on the bigger picture. This is not imagination. This is how I'm able to solve 13 murders with Toronto police. This is how I'm able to solve many cases, or a money case, COSA, Ikoyi building, all these things. Okay, when you go to journalism school, they'll teach you the basics, but when you leave that journalism school, the beats, you have to put them into action. If you want to be a sports reporter, you have to be at sports games. You can't sit down in your house and be compiling scores. If you want to be a medical reporter, you have to go to the hospital and see what's going on. And in investigative journalism, you have to investigate. It costs a lot of money. You have to travel, you have to get in a car, you have to do and this is why some of us independents always beg for money. Now, I'm leaving in about 37 days, but at the end of the day, it's not about the money. It's not about, donate, let's investigate this VDM case. It's not even about that. It's about my own health now. I'm not investigating any more cases. After Mubad, I stopped investigative journalism. Okay, it's not even about that. It's about my health. My health comes first. And I wanted to tell you guys that you have to look at the red flags, the angles, and the bigger picture. Okay, if that was my money, I'll be on the EFCC's phone like immediately. We don't know how long VDM has been investigating his missing money, but he clearly told us that they have caught one of them. They have found one of them, and they're on their way to Jos now. I think they caught the person. There's one more on the large, at large, on the loose. Who is doing this investigation, VDM? Is it the police or the EFCC or both? Because the Economic Financial Crimes Commission is the one that's supposed to be handling this strictly. This is a lot of money. Banks have been doing this forever. Sheikh Magbaje went and blocked my YouTube video because I accused him of arresting 4 journalists who accused him of 1 trillion naira fraud, GTB. Access Bank was also investigated by VDM for somebody's money, a woman whose husband had died, and her money, the man's money, was somehow active in the bank with some people. He's exposed Access Bank, he's exposed a lot of people, so they know how to do this thing. It's very orchestrated. I went to Instablog just now and I saw every single person having an opinion. Everyone's a critic in Nigeria now. Everyone had an opinion. Instablog doesn't post my videos. I don't know why. I don't care. Okay, my videos have more weight than anybody else. I am the investigative journalist. Should an investigative journalist join this investigation with VDM? Most of them will not. Within 6 hours of when VDM made this announcement, if you look on Google, you'll notice that no Nigerian newspaper posted it except one, Daily Trust, the Hausa paper. Why is it not in the Punch? It could be there as I'm speaking now. Okay? Like I said, I was one of the first people that saw that video this morning from my own side here, and I'm almost 4 hours ahead of Nigeria. I saw it as soon as he recorded it. So maybe if Punch had not seen it, maybe it's on Punch now and all the other papers and everything, because the bloggers have moved it very fast. With everybody having an opinion about it, I feel that everybody needs to be investigated. Should VDM tell us details of the investigation? No, it would be compromised. VDM, if you're watching me, do not tell us the details of the investigation. Don't compromise the investigation. That's what we do in America. Don't compromise the investigation. Don't tell everybody everything. I would not tell anybody my donations or any. I don't get much donations, but whatever I get, I try. Because there are people who are not happy for you as you're getting those donations. Have you structured your NGO? What I mean structure. Can they do an account of how much the NGO has spent? You need to be prepared for that. If you have an NGO, you need to have employees you're paying to do this and to do that. People feel that NGOs is just free money being given to people through another person. No, you must have a board. Maybe a 3-member board. For you, maybe 3 people you trust on the board that know what's going on, that can account for that money. I'm saying this, and I don't mean it in any bad form. VDM, look at me. What if you die like now, or something happens to you that's bad and you can't take care of that NGO? God forbid. You will live, and you will live well because you have been the voice of so many. VDM, what if something happens to you now? Do you have somebody who's going to take charge of that NGO without stealing it, stealing the money or anything? Do you have a will? Have you done a will for your assets? There's a lot going on. Some of you remember the Adeleke child that I advocated for, Davido's oldest child, which is Anu Adeleke. If you remember, I took her to First Bank and opened an account for her, a kiddie account. There are only 2 signatories on that account, the little girl herself and myself. She was 5 when she signed her name on there. I had one of those kiddie accounts in 1969 too. When I came back to Nigeria in 2006, that account was 130,000 and it became my money. When that little girl is 18, she's now 11, the money becomes hers. But I am trying to do a signatory for someone who will give that money to her in case anything happens to me. My children, at least my youngest child will be the signatory for that. And Anu's signature is still on there. Do you have a signatory, VDM? Get all that stuff together, but first recover that money. And the EFCC needs to cooperate in getting your money back, because this might have ties to anything.